Hello everybody, this is ComputerizedMTG and here we are back with our Bant Budget Aura deck for the Modern Roulette. This is going to be game 2, and just to get you guys up to speed in case you've missed the previous 2 videos, since there's been a small gap since I uploaded the last video. I messed up. I had my microphone muted throughout all of these games, so I'm gonna record myself doing a small commentary of the gameplay, I guess. So yeah, game 2. This is a pretty keepable hand. I'm pretty sure I kept this hand. Yep. And yeah, this is gonna be an easy game, I believe it was. I don't quite remember. I do like when people reply in the chat. You know, good luck, they have fun, they reply. That's good. I like to, I don't mind talking in the chat. I know there's not that many people that chat in the game, and that's sort of unfortunate, I guess. It is a social game. People should socialize, I believe, but I don't remember what this particular deck is. But we're off to a decently good start. Here I believe I go with an invisible stalker. Pretty sure that would be the play that I would make now, anyways. The invisible stalker. Actually, that's the only. No, it's not the only play. What am I talking about? I'm not even sure what I'm. Why am I taking so long to play that land? Yeah, here I'm thinking whether or not. Okay, so I go with the Aquos form, which is fine. I want to start cycling out what I don't need, and then pop in the ethereal armor and start putting in the beads. I'm not sure how it's gonna look. It should look fine enough if you're watching this at 1080p, but in case you were wondering what's going on in the chat, the other person, Flex, is it Flexor75? They asked if I'm playing Bant Bogles, which I told them no, this is a budget version of it. And once again, in case you missed the intro where I show what deck I'm playing, the reason this is budget more so than anything else is that the land base, really, it doesn't run Bogles, which is kind of a hit or miss. I don't remember how much Bogle is now. At the time when I built the deck, Bogle was somewhat expensive. I think I have built this deck back when Bogles was the thing. You know, everybody played Bogles. So yeah, Bogles was kind of pricey. It didn't make for a budget deck. A lot of these cards that are not budget are cards that I had. Really, the only cards that I actually had to get was Daybreak Coronet for this particular deck, so that was the most expensive card in the deck. Everything else I just had or was really cheap. But yeah, the part where I cut out on budget, I guess, is this deck runs no fetches, and it has no Horizon Canopy, I believe it's called, the one land that taps for a green or a white, and that also, I think Horizon Canopy. It's there in the chat too. I couldn't remember at the time as well. But yeah, mainly the land base is what I'm cutting short on. Yeah, this was a budget deck that I originally played to play with some to play with some friends. So I didn't want to really go all out. Once again, I used all the cards I already had, plus the Daybreak Coronet that I bought for the deck. So, alright, something just fell off in the background. Spooky ghosts! But yeah, so it's a budgety deck. It's fun to play. Anyways, back into the game. 3 lands down. Not much action, as you can see. I have a couple of visible stalkers. I drew another land. I mean, my Glade Cover Scout is is able to put in some damage, but overall not a lot going on from both sides. I don't have a whole lot, they don't have a whole lot. I would put this at the bottom if it was me, because I don't have any auras to play at the moment, and I want to draw more auras, so drawing that doesn't really do me any good. And yes, they mentioned that splashing blue is a good reason to, or rather running invisible stock is a good reason to splash blue, and that it is. You could definitely play this green-white and still win just fine, but having that unblockable is pretty decent. So I think right now all the 4 points of damage that were dealt to me are from me shocking myself with my lands. Right now they're 14. Pretty sure I take this round. It's looking like it anyway. So they dropped down a Bosejo. Oh, I remember what deck. This is actually a really interesting deck. I don't remember what the outcome of all the games are here, but this is definitely an interesting deck. It's a deck I've never seen played anyways, so I thought it was pretty interesting. Oh man, sorry about that. I'm a little bit tired. I haven't my sleeping schedule's been a little bit off as of late. Yeah, I think this first game I take you without them being really able to do anything. I think at this point in time I'm wondering why they would have Bosejo. I think at first I thought it was going to be some sort of control deck, because as you can see, it's got the, USA control colors, or Jeskai, whatever you want to call it. So I like to call it USA. America. I'm not drawing a lot. I'm just kind of glad that they haven't been doing much of anything. I think at this point in time I was afraid of a Supreme Verdict, which I think is why I don't play any more creatures at this point. I just kind of hold them back because they have nothing going on. They can't really touch my creatures. I have 4 power on the ground, so 3 turns, I take the game. If I get any enchantments, it's going to be faster than that. So I don't want to, just flood out on creatures and run into a board wipe. So it's always better to hold back something in hand. I mean, I could have, obviously, if I had played these, the Invisible Stalker and the Ledge Walker, I would have won a turn earlier, but it doesn't really matter. Winning a turn, risking getting your board wiped just to get that win a turn earlier when you can play it safe and 100% guarantee yourself a win, it's not worth it. So sometimes it's better to play safe. Then again, playing safe sometimes does give your opponent enough of a chance to actually take the game from underneath it. So yeah, here he's looking for something. I think it's a combo piece, because this is a combo deck that I'm playing against. So he's looking for some sort of answer, a combo piece, but ooh. Oh man. Sorry about that. I should have gotten a nap or something before recording this. Oh man, I wish I would have drawn that a turn earlier. Then the game would have been over by now. But yeah, so I don't think they get to do much right now. I think they were a turn away from actually playing out their combo. What in the next? Yeah, I think I win this first game. I'm not sure about the next ones. So yeah, you'll see in the next game. The deck is interesting, to say the least. I think they were either about to type something, or they're thinking if they can actually do anything. I forgot what I was probably blabbering on about. Moving my cursor, highlighting cards. So yeah, there he goes. So he can't pay for Bosejo, so he kind of he kind of screwed himself on that part. But as you can see, the deck has no sideboard. So if you've seen the previous video, that's no surprise. If you haven't, well, there you go. Now you see it, no sideboard. So again, very budget. That's another area where the budget comes in. I have no sideboard. So that saves a little or a lot, depending on what you like to sideboard in these colors. But yeah, so here I'm just waiting for my opponent to make his sideboard changes, start up the next game, and you'll see the very interesting deck that I thought was actually pretty cool. I was actually thinking of maybe building it myself, although at the same time it's that type of deck that's fun to play with a few times, but when you play repeatedly it doesn't seem like too much fun, because combo decks are what they are. You just look for your combo and you win, so a lot of the entire game is just you trying to find that combo. Yeah, here I'm telling that I was expecting a supreme verdict, which is what I was afraid of and what I was just talking about right now. I think I keep this hand because I'm just greedy. Because this is a very... Okay, so I was smart and I mulligan. I don't remember. I think I mulligan again. Yeah, because I have no creatures. And this is definitely a keep. Put that one on the bottom, yep. Because I didn't see any creatures. So, no reason to want a second path to exile. So it kind of sucks here that we have two come into play tap lands. One of the ways to improve is to put green and blue lands, so Hinterland Arbor and what was one that was recently in Standard? I can't remember. But Breeding Pool is another one I could put in here. So, and as the other player pointed out, oh, I forgot, lucky me, I drew a forest, so that worked well for me. But yes, the Flexor75 over here points out the deck mulligan's bad, and that is very true. If you have a lot of creatures but no land, or I mean a lot of creatures but no auras, you're forced to mulligan. I mean, it always depends what you're playing against, but more often than not, you're gonna be forced to mulligan. If you have a lot of auras and no creatures, you're obviously gonna mulligan. So, or as you see right here, I'm kind of mana screwed because I don't draw any blue, so I can't play my eligible Stalker and I can't play Aqua's Form. So I'm just sitting here pinging him for one. Plays a Peer Through Deaths, looking for those combo pieces. I think the player eventually mentions that this is not a new deck. This is an older deck. So if any of you guys at home or on the phone, I don't know why I said at home, this isn't a TV show. If any of you people watching this recognize the deck, let me know how it played back in the day. Was it a good deck? Was it a bad deck? Was it a fringe deck back then? Have you guys played it? What are your experiences? Have you played against it before? Let me know in the comments below, because I thought this was a pretty neat deck. But again, neat deck for the first couple times. And then again, I wouldn't play it every day. Just not my cup of tea. So this is definitely a card. So as you see, I'm just kind of staring there because I don't know. I've never seen the card, so I was sitting there reading it. But it's pretty, yeah. That's a card. Yeah, I was not expecting it. That's just kind of out of the blue there. And once again, no blue. So that kind of sucks. I'm rereading the card just to make sure I know exactly what's going to happen. So I'm thinking here, and I figure out why not? This creature's gonna die anyway, so I might as well put Rancor, since Rancor is gonna pop right back into my hand anyways. Get in for 3 damage, call it a day, wave goodbye to my Glade Cover Scout, and pick up Rancor again. I think what's gonna do me in this particular game, other than him having all the draw and the combo, needs is not drawing blue mana, and that's gonna hurt me a lot. I'm playing a little bit slow in this game. I'm not sure why. I don't remember what was going on or what my state of mind was at the time, but yeah, sorry for the slow plays. I think it was a mix between reading the chat and making the commentary. Like I mentioned, I like chatting and whatnot, but I think maybe for the sake of the video, I'll try to pay more attention to the game and less attention to the chat, because yeah, it distracts me a lot. I guess it does. At least I'm assuming that's why I'm playing slow. I'm probably talking about my thought process at the moment too, which definitely helps more than the commentary that I'm doing right now, which is why I almost hesitated doing this, playing the game, and going over the recording and voice it over, because I didn't feel like the surprise or the reactions were going to be genuine enough. So, you know, here's my blue land. So I didn't feel like it was going to be as entertaining as it would have been for me to just re-record the whole ordeal. But I had already spent time recording and playing the game, and this deck right here is one of the reasons why I wanted to include the match. So I figured, why not? Let's voice over this and see what happens. I will start doing more league games as well, especially since I started this last couple of Friday nights. I haven't been able to attend Friday Night Magic, so that's that. But now that I am, and I built my standard deck, or what I'm going to use at the moment anyways, it is a Grixis controlled deck. It's been played at one of the first Star City game invitationals for this year. So you guys probably have run into it on YouTube. Star City Games has uploaded the deck list for it, which is where I got it from. It's card for card, the same. So that's what I will be playing. I'm thinking of switching to Esper, but anyhow, this card right here is pretty much the combo piece of the deck. If he's able to get Enduring Ideal out, you essentially lose the game. There's just no ways, no how. If you cannot counter Enduring Ideal, you just flat out lose the game. As you will see why, his deck is packed with very interesting enchantments. So I kind of play it out. At this point in time, I kind of figure I've already lost, but I play it out because why not? So here he's got Phyrexian and Life. If you guys don't know what Phyrexian and Life is, or what it does rather, you don't lose the game for reaching 0 life, and I think I zoom in onto it, or if not, you can just read it there. As long as you have 0 less life, all the damage is dealt to you through its source, as though its source had infected. So you don't lose the game for going down to 0 life, and once you hit 0 life, you start taking damage as though the source had infect. And he's gonna play a combo piece alongside that. Gonna play some combo piece alongside that, or maybe he doesn't play this game. I know he plays it the following turn, or not the following turn, the following game. So here I'm just thinking to myself, am I even gonna be able to do anything? Is there even any point? I have to get him down to 0, and then I have to do 10 more damage after that. So if there's any way for him to gain life, I'm kind of screwed. Plus, you know, all the enchantments. Ooh, actually, I just realized I am playing the audio through my speakers. So hopefully it hasn't been loud to where you can hear it through the microphone. I don't know what I've been doing. It just kind of hit me. I was like, hey, I can hear the sound, but I don't have my headphones on. Oh, yeah, he did play it in this game. So, as you can see, the Form of the Dragon, I think it's called? Yeah, Form of the Dragon. At the beginning of your upkeep, Form of the Dragon deals 5 damage to target creature or player. At the beginning of each end step, your life total becomes 5. So he doesn't care if his life total becomes 5, because I have to be able to get him down to 0 from 5, which doesn't sound hard, but because of how it works mechanic-wise, I would need a creature with first strike and a creature that doesn't have first strike, or a creature with double strike, so on and so forth. Something that deals damage and then damage after. But I don't, so that combo kind of shuts me down. Then he can just keep pinging me for 5 anyways. So give me a second here. I'm going to turn off the audio from the game. I mean from my speakers. And I'm going to put on my headset. Not that it matters. The audio is going to be recorded regardless the same way. It's just so you guys don't hear it. I don't think you were able to anyways because my speakers were kind of low. But you never know, if I get a message or something, it goes ping, you know, you don't want to hear it from the recording audio and through the microphone. It might be a little bit annoying. But yeah, so if you guys haven't noticed, if you guys haven't caught my last video, you probably have noticed this video. I have swapped recording software, or not recording software, my bad. I mean video editing software. So you'll no longer hear those random little annoying crackling and echoing sounds that happen every so often through my video, which I think really didn't do me any favor, and it's also one of the reasons that I was kind of turned down from actually recording any video. So yeah, video audio should be crystal clear from here on out, thank God. And yeah, so if you're wondering what I'm using, by the way, I swapped from Lightworks, which I felt was a very, very good software to use, and functionality-wise, unfortunately, I just could not figure out why the audio issue was happening. Looked it up, different forums. Some people have it, some people don't, and apparently it's something that just happens with Lightworks. Some people have their own random fix, so they'll turn off the left audio, pump up the right audio, and it works, and all these random fixes, and I tried them all and they didn't work. So yeah, I decided to get Photoshop Premiere 15 and Photoshop Photoshop. Is it Photoshop Premiere? Photoshop Elements. Adobe Elements. Adobe Premiere and Adobe Photoshop. There you go. So the Amazon was having a little sale, so 89 bucks got me both of them. So why not? And it's very streamlined, very easy. Yeah, I'm actually surprised I didn't decide to get Adobe Premiere before. I should have, but yes, it works like a charm and it has no audio issues. Thank for that. Here I'm telling him I need to revise the deck. It's just my deck is having issues. Sorry about this game. I talked too much in the chat. The person was chatty. Which, as I mentioned, I like, but it distracts me a lot. So I'll try to keep my chat to a minimum. At least I'll try to get the gameplay going as I'm talking in the chat if people talk back to me. But I apologize if the gameplay is slow for this particular match. So. And then, as I mentioned to him too, I'm slightly see, it's a lose-lose situation. I'm distracted. I'm not playing properly, and as I tell him, I'm slightly distracted. It's because I'm doing the video at the time, so I was doing the commentary. So as I'm talking to you, and as I'm talking in the chat, I'm getting distracted all over the place. I can't play properly. I skipped my land drop. And right now my gameplay is looking slow because of it, so nobody's enjoying this. I'll avoid doing that, but enough of that. They played a Tapland since I misplayed mine, or since I didn't play mine. Not that it matters, but, you know. Now I'm not going to draw a land for a bit, I believe. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but, yeah, this guy's going to pull off some stuff. It's going to be a pretty neat little game. But yeah, you see what the deck does. It's a little combo deck. He tries to find that enchantment that has epic, and then he just starts blasting off whatever enchantment locks his opponent down at the time. He has all sorts of enchantments, I'd imagine. So here I get punished for keeping a bad hand and for not playing a land turn 1. Overall, this is not a very exciting game. Several reasons. Primarily because combo decks are just not very exciting to play against. And my deck is... it's supposed to be fairly active, fairly fast, but it's just not a very exciting deck to see played, I don't think. I mean, you play your hexproof creature, your quote-unquote bogle, and then you just keep bashing in. It's, there's not much to it. Yeah, not drawing a land is definitely punishing me. So here I'm forced to get rid of something. I think I get rid of either the Ledge Walker or one of the Invisible Stalkers. Yeah. So here I'm just, he's just getting all the time in the world to find his combo pieces, gets it up, he's in no hurry. He doesn't have to worry about any sort of damage coming through, so he's just taking his time. There's the sleight of hand that he spared us from on turn 1. I do need to figure out what that background fuzzy sound is coming from. Here, I'll be quiet for a second. You should be able to hear it. Hear that? It almost sounds like there's a fan. Not necessarily a fan, otherwise the sound would be more distorted than that. But it's a little. There's this little fuzzy back sound. I don't know if my volume is too high in game. Maybe. I'll have to figure out what that is, but that's not as annoying as the crackling and popping. So here we go. Finally drew the second hand. So I'll be playing Invisible Stalker. Next turn I can slap on a Hyena Umbra and an Ethereal Armor, and the turn after that Daybreak Hornet, and start putting in some real damage. Really wish this would have actually happened when it should have. I also need to learn the key shortcuts on the keyboard. I keep doing everything with the mouse, and there it is, Enduring Ideal. He's just gonna win. Essentially, that's what it means. Whenever he plays that, he says, I win. But yeah, I need to learn the keyboard shortcuts. I'm a person that does things the old school, not the old school way, the slow way, I guess. I always like to right-click stuff, and so that also would help with speed. Right now, I'm right-clicking audio, when I could be, what is it, F6, I think. Yeah, I need to learn the keyboard shortcuts. It definitely helps. Here I'm just pretty much tossing things so I can make birds. I mean, there's not much else I can do, so there's no reason to hold that stuff on my hand. Might as well make some birdies. So my game plan here, because I know he's going to get 5x in life, is to try to put more birds in play, as many birds in play as I can, so I can start, chumping him down. Hopefully until have enough birds to get through the 5 life, because the combo you saw earlier, he's gonna play this game. So in my mind, because I didn't know exactly how that going back to 5 life would work, but because all damage is dealt at once, so on and so forth. But yeah, the whatchamacallit, my game plan at the time was to get out as many birds as possible, so play as much stuff as I can, and get birds, put creatures out, and hopefully have enough to be able to get him down to 0. Deal infect, 0, deal infect. But that doesn't go well for me because he's able to just kill my birds with the dealing 5 damage to target player or creature. So that's that. And of course it wouldn't have mattered anyways because that combo completely prevents us from doing any sort of infect damage. Just gonna put that other piece out, I believe. Yep, there's Form of the Dragon, there's Phyrexian on life, and what's the other one? Call it Dovescape. So yeah, that's pretty much it. yeah. So Flexer75 mentions in the chat that if it's any consolation to me, he cannot cast any spells until the end of the game, which doesn't mean much because he wins. So that combo locks me out of everything, so there's nothing I can do. Time to get 3 more birds. Time to swing on in. There goes, left goes back up to 5. He's gonna shoot down one of my birds. Oh no, he's gonna shoot me. That's fine. Oh, I remember what card he's gonna get now. Oh man. Yep. The Mind Maze. So now, even if I could have been attacking, and even if the combo didn't work the way he thought he would, now all my creatures are -5, -5. Yeah, I mentioned here that I'm not going to be able to put enough birds out there to be able to do any significant amount of infect damage before he's able to burn me through, because I'm on a 3-turn clock pretty much. Yeah, here I mentioned that it's GG, and I talk with the guy and he talks back, so I'm just gonna end the game here. He wins. There's just, not much that I can do. He's going to explain how the combo works. So in any case, the game is over, and he wins. Pretty cool deck. Once again, if you've seen this deck being played before, leave a comment down below and let me know, what do you guys think? Is it a fun deck? Do you guys have this deck? Do you play it? How does it feel? Anyways, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the 3rd match. Take care.